Winter is coming. Howdy y'all, Jaybird here and welcome to 4x4 Today, where we bring you rides, events, and news that you can use. All right, winter is coming and we've got to prepare, so I've put together a list of about 7 things to double check and make sure you have in your 4-wheel drive rig as you go out in these winter months. So let's get started. Number 1, let's freshen up that first aid kit. I know you already carry the first aid kit, but let's review. This is a good time to look at it. Let's review any expired items, get those replaced. Anything you open over the summer, little Band-Aids, packages, all that kind of stuff. Let's replace them. Let's go through the medicines, make sure is everything fresh, no expired dates, etc. Go through that first aid kit. You should have a really good one, and now's a good time to check that first aid kit. While we're checking that first aid kit, why not we check that fire extinguisher? Make sure that it is fully charged. Make sure it's good. Give it a shake. I know it shakes around in the car, but when we need that fire extinguisher, we want to make it work. So double check that fire extinguisher too. All right, number 2. Let's talk about warm clothing. All right, I always carry spare clothing in my Defender, but now it's time to switch over from the, cool, extra pair of shorts and a t-shirt to warm clothing. So make sure you add a coat in there. I always just throw a spare coat in the back. You never know when, it's going to get extra cold. A pair of gloves, warm gloves, a beanie or a hat to cover those ears, and more importantly, a fresh pair of warm socks, because if your feet get wet, it is so hard to warm up. So if you can dry your feet and then put some dry socks on, that is so much better, especially if you're out in the woods and it's cold, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of cold, number 3, let's add a blanket. Okay, one of those emergency space blankets are great, but I mean, just a regular blanket, a wool blanket, anything to provide you warmth. I know my wife, loves to carry a blanket to go over her legs while we're riding, because it does get a little cold and drafty in that Defender, because the seals aren't tight, and you get a nice cool breeze right on the back of your neck from the window, etc. So an extra blanket is always good, because you never know how long you might be out on the trails. All right. Because it's wintertime and the time change, it gets dark early, so we need to talk about flashlights. Yes, I know you carry a flashlight, but have you checked the batteries? Have you checked that it actually works? I mean, the sun was staying open up till 9:30 just a few months ago, and you didn't need the flashlight, but now it gets dark at 5:30 or 6. So the flashlight, so check those batteries. Make sure that they're fresh. Make sure the flashlight works. It hadn't been bounced around and broke the bulb or something like that. So double check on that. All right, number 5, let's talk about, speaking of batteries, let's talk about our, different batteries. So you probably want to have a phone charger, because a lot of time the cold is going to zap that energy of that battery too. But speaking of batteries, we also want to talk about the car battery. So make sure your jumper cables are good. Inspect the jumper cables, make sure there's no nicks, all that kind of stuff. Are they good and clean? Or maybe even better yet, get one of those jump boxes and keep it charged for a battery, because the cold is gonna zap that battery. All right, number 6, how about a bag of cat litter? Yes, it might get icy, and yes, we have 4-wheel drive, but 4-wheel drive spins on ice just as quick as 2-wheel drive spins on ice. But you can spread a little cat litter on the ground, get a little, traction. So just carry a small bag of cat litter that is just easy to throw in. It's not going to cost. You don't need it in the, that's a good thing. One other number 7 item is carry a little extra food and water, something to drink, sustenance. If you're stuck out in there, if you're stuck out in the woods, you want to make sure you carry some spare food and water. You might have some left over, so make sure it's fresh. Make sure it's good, fresh. It's not expired. Go through what you normally carry. See if it's good. This is a great time to check. Be safe out there. It's wintertime. I've got viewers all the way, from, up the northern where it's a lot colder, and viewers down in Florida where it doesn't get as cold, but still we want everybody to be safe, go through your vehicles, make sure you're prepared for winter, because winter is coming. I'm Jaybird, the Ice Cream Man, and I will see you on the trails.